All right, let's get right into it. For as long as most of us can remember, one name has pretty much owned global coffee culture, right? But in the world's most competitive market, something huge just happened. This is a story all about tech, speed, and a total rewrite of the rules for how we get our coffee. And this was the year, 2023, the year the official numbers finally confirmed what everyone on the ground was already seeing, a massive shift in the coffee universe. And the epicenter was China.
You could honestly call it a coffee coup. For the very first time, a local tech-first company officially sold more coffee than the global titan Starbucks in China. So the big question is, how did this David and Goliath story actually happen? What was the winning strategy?
To really understand this, we need to look at the two completely different ideas at the heart of this fight. This isn't just about two companies selling coffee. It's a clash of two very different ways of doing business.
So on one side, you've got Starbucks. Their whole brand, their whole identity is built around this idea of being the third place. You know, that comfy, premium spot between your home and your office. And on the other side, you've got Luckin Coffee. They're all about new retail, a model that cares about one thing above all else: digital convenience and straight-up value. And this is where it gets really interesting when you see it all laid out. Starbucks has these big, expensive, relaxed stores to make you feel good about paying 30 yuan or more. Luckin, they do the exact opposite. They use these tiny, super low-cost pickup stores. They're basically just kitchens, really, to pump out coffee that's way cheaper in that 10 to 20 yuan range. And here's the kicker. At Starbucks, you're meant to hang out. At Luckin, you literally can't. It's all done through their mobile app. It's a completely cashierless scan-and-go system built for pure speed. So why China? Why was this the perfect place for a company like Luckin to just blow up? Well, it's because the market itself was changing at lightning speed.
You see, for years, getting coffee in China was a treat. It was a luxury experience you'd pay a premium for at a place like, well, Starbucks. But that totally changed. It went from being a special occasion to a daily habit for millions and millions of people. And when something becomes a daily habit, suddenly price and convenience become a whole lot more important. And that brings us to the other huge factor here, the battlefield itself. China is one of the most plugged-in, digital-first consumer markets on the planet. People there don't just use their phones for things, they pretty much live their lives through them. This created the absolute perfect environment for a super-fast, digital-only business model to not just survive, but totally thrive. Okay, so the market conditions were perfect, but how did Luckin actually turn that into a playbook that could topple a giant? First off, sheer, overwhelming scale. By early 2024, Luckin had built a network of over 16,000 stores. Just think about that number. They achieved a kind of physical presence that was just mind-boggling, basically putting themselves on every corner. And they pulled this off with a strategy called asset-light expansion. So instead of building these big, expensive cafes, they just rolled out thousands of these tiny, cheap kitchens. And here's why that's so smart. It let them explode into all of these price-sensitive, smaller cities, where Starbucks and its premium model just couldn't make the numbers work. Now, the customer experience itself is the heart of their whole digital model. It's almost ridiculously simple. You open the app, you tap what you want, and by the time you walk over to the store, it's sitting there waiting for you. You just scan a QR code, grab your drink, and you are gone. No lines, no talking to a cashier, no waiting around. It's just pure, frictionless speed. And look, you just can't talk about Luckin's success without talking about their marketing genius. They were masters at creating products for the local market, creating these viral sensations like this, a latte infused with mutai, which is a super famous high-end Chinese liquor. It wasn't just a drink, it became a cultural event. It showed they just got the local culture in a way a global company can really struggle with. But this story is not over, not by a long shot. You don't become a global powerhouse like Starbucks by just rolling over. The giant is awake now, and it's starting to fight back, but on Luckin's turf. So what's their new game plan? Well, in a nutshell, they're starting to fight fire with fire. First, they're launching cheaper drinks to take away some of Luckin's price advantage. And second, they're shifting from that quality over quantity store strategy to just overwhelming scale. The word on the street is they're targeting maybe 20,000 stores to try and reclaim their spot on every corner. So, after all that, what does this whole thing mean? What's the big takeaway from this coffee coup in China? I think the main lesson is crystal clear. In today's fast-moving digital world,
A business built on pure convenience and everyday value can do more than just compete with a premium experience brand. It can actually beat it. And that's really why this story matters so much to all of us. This isn't just about a fight over lattes. It's a blueprint. It's a case study for how technology, smart localization, and a deep understanding of new consumer habits can shake up pretty much any industry you can think of. Which leaves us with this one final, really interesting question to chew on. As our lives get faster, more digital, more on the go, is the whole idea of paying extra for a premium experience becoming obsolete? The battle for China's coffee drinkers seems to suggest that the rules of the game have absolutely changed for good.